We're going to go to page 121 in grammar. So go to 121. That's not what I want. I want this one. Okay. Um, there we go. Page 121. This is review. We're going to talk about some sentence openers. You guys know already about 1, 2, and 3. And basically, you're using some of those, I think, in your writing already. Yeah, you're using 2 and 3 in writing. All right, so a sentence opener is a descriptive word or phrase or clause that is added to the beginning of the sentence. Using different types of sentence openers makes writing more interesting. That's why we do it. It really is not to make your life miserable as much as you might think. That's why we have sentence openers. It's really not the reason. The reason is to make your writing more interesting. And it's good. You can use these all through your schooling years, through high school and even college, using these different openers and dress ups and stuff. You probably don't want it in college. You probably don't want to call it a dress up in college because your professor might go dress up. What is that? But you're using it. That's all that matters. You use it and openers. All right, so we've got 3. We got a number 1 subject opener. It is a sentence that begins with the subject of the sentence. Sometimes it's the very first word, like this one, Timmy. Timmy climbed into the basket, but it could have an article in front of it or even an adjective in front of it, and then the subject. It's still considered a subject opener. So if the subject is somewhere near the front of the sentence, it might be a subject opener. Although I'm going to challenge this because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words here. There's one I don't think you've learned yet, VSS. Have we learned that one yet? VSS? No. Okay, so I'm going to leave that a surprise. I'm not going to tell you what that is. So we're going to go on to a number 2 opener. This is a prepositional opener. It's a sentence that begins with a prepositional phrase. In the morning, that's a prepositional phrase. In the morning, Timmy climbed into the basket. So that is the one that requires a comma if it has 5 or more words in it. What are we talking about in the chat here? Okay. You guys are off topic. Pause the chat for a minute. I need you to listen to the lesson. Prepositional opener like this. In the morning, Timmy climbed into the basket. Here's a number 3 ly adverb opener. It's a sentence that begins with an ly adverb. Big surprise. Finally, Timmy climbed into the basket. So finally is the adverb opener. Timmy climbed in the basket. Okay, so you're going to practice writing sentences with different sentence openers. Write a sentence that begins with a number 1 subject opener using the following words: mouse, arrived, and garden. Can anybody think of a sentence with a subject opener using the words mouse? I almost said Tyler. Mouse, arrived, and garden. Tyler, what do you think?
The mouse arrived in the garden.
Yeah, that'll work. The mouse arrived in the garden. Anybody have anything different than that? Kaden?
The mouse arrived at his garden.
Okay, good. That's a good one too. So either one of those, go ahead and write your sentence here. You can copy this one if you want, or write your own. The mouse arrived in the garden, or at his garden was Caden's idea, or whatever else you can come up with. That's the basic sentence with a subject opener. And now using that same sentence, we're going to add a number 2 prepositional opener to your sentence. So if you need to look back on your tab here about prepositions, you can. You should have a post-it note there. It's on page 13. Here's all your prepositions at the bottom. Using one of these words and a phrase, how can we add to that sentence here? The mouse arrived in the garden. How can we add to that? Anybody have any good ideas? using a preposition? Page 13, if you need to go back and look at that, page 13. So we've got a bunch to choose from. Okay, Tyler, you got one?
Despite his struggles, he arrived in the garden.
Oh, I like that. Despite his troubles, the mouse arrived in the garden. Good one. Anybody have anything different? It could be something as simple as in the morning or at night, because at and in are also prepositions. So come up with one. I'm going to put Tyler's since he's the one that shared that one, despite, because that is a preposition, his troubles, let me move that closer. Mouse arrived in the garden. We're kind of running out of space here, but that's okay. And we don't need a comma because it's only 3 words. So if it's more than 5, you do need a comma. So the no comma here, despite his troubles, the mouse arrived in the garden. And then this time, using this original sentence, add an ly opener. Can anybody think of somebody different than Tyler this time? What's an ly opener to use somethingly the mouse arrived in the garden? What could you say there? Like, eventually the mouse arrived in the garden, or desperately the mouse arrived in the garden, or what's another one, Caden?
Would sneakily be one.
Sneakily, yes, sneakily the mouse arrived in the garden. Any others? Easton, Liana, do you have any ly words you can add to this one? Somethingly the mouse arrived in the garden. Ultimately, the mouse arrived in the garden. Any ideas? No?
Surprisingly, maybe?
Lazily? Is that what you said?
No, surprisingly.
Yeah, surprisingly. That's a good one. Surprisingly, the mouse arrived in the garden. Tyler?
Scurrily. Could I use that?
Surely? Is that what you said?
Scurrily. Like he scurried
Surely.
into the
Is
garden.
that a word? I don't think I've ever used that one. Let me look it up really quick. I'm not sure that's a word. Scurrily? Scurrily. I know what you're trying to say. Oops, hold on. Scurrily. Scurrily. Scurriously. Scurrily? I don't think it's a word. It doesn't want to, it's like confused. So I don't think scurry obviously is, but I don't think scurrily. Quickly, though, that would be an easy one. That was a good challenge for me, Tyler. Thank you. I'm like, ugh. Okay. Yeah, quickly, the mouse arrived in the garden. I'm going to use that one. Did you think of a different one, Liana? An ly? No. Go ahead and write one. Whichever one you guys want to use. We're just practicing using these openers here. Prepositional, subject, preposition, and then ly adverb. And then it says, rewrite the sentence with your favorite opener, add quality adjectives and ly adverbs, and illustrate if you wish. We're going to make this quicker than that. But whichever one is your favorite opener, let's go with the long one. That one's kind of cool. Despite his troubles, what kind of troubles could he have, Tyler? Let's think of a good quality adjective here, like something troubles, like
Problematic.
what's that?
Problematic.
Problematic troubles. Let's do that. Okay, we got despite his problematic troubles. Poor guy, man. He's having a bad day. The mouse quickly arrived at or in what's an adjective to describe the garden? What kind of garden is this? Oh, you got one, Easton?
I don't have one, but can I go to the restroom real quick?
Yes, yes, you can. The beautiful garden, the vegetable garden, the green garden. What kind of garden is this? The elaborate, the ginormous. What kind of a garden is this? Can somebody give me, how about Liana? Can you give me an adjective to describe the garden?
The beautiful garden.
Beautiful garden. Okay. Go ahead and write down this sentence. So you can see here how we went from the mouse arrived in the garden to, despite his problematic troubles, the mouse quickly arrived in the beautiful garden. Now that's a sentence. That's like a $10 sentence right there. This one's maybe a $2 sentence. It's all right. The mouse arrived in the garden, but this one's a $10 sentence. All right. And you can do, all kinds of stuff with sentences like that, which you guys are learning in this class. So, all right, got that? We're going to move on. You need me to leave it there for a second, Tyler?
Oh wait, I thought we removed. Oh, I thought this was the practice page. Okay, I'll ask my question after the practice page.
Okay. We have more. Okay, let's move on. Practice page is 123. Anybody feel like reading this? How about Liana? Can you read this sentence today?
Shortly before noon one drizzling spring day, Timmy sat by his burrow.
Burrow. So that word's dazzling. I always think of like glitter or something sparkly, but it's talking about the spring day. So it probably was super sunny and bright, and the sky was really blue, and everything was just like pow. You ever had those days before it was just like, wow, this is amazing out here? Lately, we've had fog and haze, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's okay outside. But I love those days when it's just like bright and blue and maybe a couple puffy white clouds, and it's like, okay. And then burrow is basically like a hole, either a hole in the side of a little hill or in the ground or somewhere where he's living. He's hiding in his burrow. Okay. Check vocabulary. And Tyler, 4 nouns, please.
Come on, I was stuck on these earlier.
Uh-oh.
Timmy,
Good.
burrow,
Yes.
day. Would day be one?
Yes. Yes. Day is one.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Would noon be a
Yes,
noun?
it is. It's a thing. It's noon, even though it's a time, it's a thing. Good. That's it. Those are the 4 nouns. Very good. And adjectives, Easton, those are the ones that are going to tell a little bit more about the noun. So look usually before the noun.
Spring.
Good. That's an adjective. It's the kind of day it is.
Shortly. No, that's a ly. Right?
Yeah, that's an ly.
Dazzling.
Dazzling. Yep. That's another adjective.
Before.
No, not before. That's actually going to be, so there isn't going to be an adjective before this noun. So there's an exception here. But whose burrow is it?
His.
His. And then there's a number in here. That's also
One.
going to be an adjective. 1, but we need to spell it because, yeah. Do you know how to spell 1, Easton?
Yeah. Oh, wait, what?
O.
Gosh, I'm brainwashed. O-N-E.
There you go. You got it. I put you on the spot. O-N-E. So we need to change that to the word one. That is also an adjective. So this word day has three adjectives before it. Ly adverb, Kaden.
Shortly.
Shortly. You got the easy one, huh? That's an easy one. Verbs. I'm going to jump down to verbs, Tyler. Where are the verbs at? There is only one verb in here. I will tell you that.
Okay. Let me guess. The verb.
What is Timmy doing?
He is sitting, so
He is
sat.
sitting, so sat. Very good. And Timmy is the one doing this sitting, so that's going to be the subject. The subject is Timmy, and Timmy sat. There you go. Prepositional phrases. So, Liana, there's two in here.
Is one shortly before noon?
Not the word shortly, but it starts with the word before. So, before noon. Remember, you're looking for those words that don't have a label on it. That's probably the preposition. So, before noon is one. And one more.
Sat by his barrel?
You're close. Not sat, because it's not going to include a verb. It's just going to be by
By
his, yep, by his burrow. Good, Liana. That's right. That's why I save those to the end. So that's a good skill to do or a good thing to do when you're doing your homework. Save those to the end. They're a little easier to find. What kind of opener do we have, Easton?
Opener.
Yeah,
3.
good. Three. And it's an ly. I'm going to write this down. I want you to write it down too. Ly adverb opener. Very good. Capitals, you can do that by yourself. End mark, do that by yourself. You already fixed the number, so we're done. Okay, Tyler, did you have something you wanted to ask me? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So you were gonna show us how to do a bibliography before the thing was due. Um, and so I already knew how to do one, so I went to the website, but it wouldn't like I just couldn't figure it out, so I didn't include a bibliography in my
Okay.
article about the Bahamas.
I didn't show you guys that last week. Oh. Huh.
I mean, I can put the sites in my document, but I don't know how to make an actual bibliography.
Did I show you how to do it on Google Docs?
No.
I was supposed to. I don't know why. I might have run out of time or something.
Yeah, we were like 5 minutes over last time.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm glad you said something because I do want you to have a bibliography. So, um, let me show you how right now. And then you can add it. I'll send it back to you and you can add it to your page because I do want you to know how to do that. So let me pull up this example here. This is in a different class. This is in a little bit of a higher class, and they wrote about a famous person, and this person wrote about Marilyn Monroe, if you've ever heard of that name before. Tyler, do you want to say something else?
Yeah, you said the word send it back and it clicked in my head. You sent something back to me the week of February 3rd and I'm not sure why.
Does it have a grade on it?
Let me check.
Because sometimes students send me stuff that's already graded, and I'm like, I don't want it. It's yours. It's back to you. So I just send it back.
No, it's not graded. It's assigned to me.
What?
So do you want me to turn it in or?
Did you turn it in?
I did turn it in and you returned it to me.
Turn it back in. I'll look at it. I don't even know what that was. Just send it back to me.
It was when we were doing gardening.
Oh, weird. I don't know why that went back to you. Sometimes I do my grading at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's probably a mistake on my part. But just send it back. That's fine. Okay, so when you have a paper like this and you want to add a bibliography page, and I am recording this, so you guys can watch this again later if you need to. On your Google Docs, and if you have Google Docs and you want to go do this right now, you can open it up and walk through this with me at the same time. If you need me to send it back to you, let me know. But you're going to go to the toolbar up here in Google Docs. There's a toolbar. If you don't see that toolbar, it could be that it's hiding. And this little arrow on the right side, if I click that, see how it disappears? So if you don't see the toolbar, click that little down arrow, and then you'll get a toolbar that pops up here. You should see File, Edit, View, Insert, Format, Tools, Extensions, and Help. You're going to go to Edit. Just kidding. You're going to go to Insert. Forgot which one it was for a second. And is it on this one? Okay, hold on a second. I'm looking for it.
Is it the insert link?
No, hold on. Why isn't it showing it? Oh, here it is. Sorry, guys. Let me start over. Find that toolbar. Go to Tools. See, when I hover over Tools right here, you have a list of choices. And it's actually called Citations. That's the word you're looking for, citations. And you can see a little quotation mark there. That's the symbol for it. When you click on Citations, I'll click it. It opens a new box here. I'm just going to delete this so you can see what it looks like to start from fresh. It opens up a box on the side here, some options. Do you guys see that? And it shows MLA 8th edition. That is the format of this style of bibliography, which is what I want you to use. So it's a default, so you don't have to change that. And then you see how there's a blue button here that says Add Citation Source. You're going to click that. And then it's going to ask you source type. Right now it's default on book. I almost said boot, but it's not boot, it's book. But you're going to use a website because you guys have 3 websites that you used for your paper about your country. So when you click on this box, it'll drop down a menu and you're going to choose website. Now this is where it says search with a URL. A URL is that address that you put in your search bar. So if you used like Britannica, the Britannica website, that's the website you would cut and paste into that box. So I think I have some open over here. Let me look. I did. This is from last week. One of my students was going to write about Norway. Okay, so can you guys see this National Geographic page right here? Can you guys see that? Okay, good. And can you see at the top, sometimes this doesn't come through on Zoom very well, but in that search bar at the top, it says kids.nationalgeographic.com/geography, blah, 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 blah. You can't see that, Tyler?
So no, I can't see it, but I was going to do this with you so that I didn't have to do it later, but when I went to, I unsubmitted my document and it still says I don't have edit access, but I've reloaded everything.
Okay, let me fix that. Let me fix that. Hold on just a second.
Oh, now it gives me edit access.
Oh, you got it? You're good?
Yep.
Okay, sometimes it takes a second. Let me go back to this page. Do you guys see Norway here again? Okay, good. So when you go to the website that you used for your research, you're going to copy the address. That's called a URL. So I'm going to copy this one right here. And you can right click and copy or double click, however your computer, or use Command C, whatever your computer does to copy something. Copy that address where you found your article. And then you're going to go back to your paper, which is here, and paste it into this bar that's asking for the URL. So cut and paste it into there. Give me a thumbs up if you guys understand what I'm doing right now. Okay. You can do it right now with me at the same time if you can. Otherwise, I'm recording it. You can watch it later and you can work through this later. Just play and pause and do the steps later when you have more time. So I pasted it into that box and now I'm going to click search. And it gives us a little bit of information here. It tells the title of the article was Norway. Here's the website, National Geographic Kids. There's the URL. This says the published year is missing. That's okay. Just leave that. Date accessed is today's date. Okay, everything's there that I need. And now, let me move this out of the way. Hold on. At the bottom, you'll see a blue button that says continue. You're going to click that, continue. They're going to ask, it's going to show you some boxes here. Don't worry about the empty boxes. Just leave whatever is in there and click add citation source. Are you with me, Tyler, on that? Okay, good. You guys good? Kaden, Easton, Liana. Okay, you guys are good. So then that's one source. Then there's a button here to add another source. So you're going to click that again, go through the same steps, choose website, go to the URL, and maybe it's Britannica. Maybe you guys had a Britannica. This is Britannica right here. This one's about Japan. Kids.britannica.com. This one was about Japan. I'm going to click, copy the address to that website, go back to my paper, click here, enter that URL, which is the address to the website, and click search. Yes, Tyler.
So when I go to cite it onto my page, it only puts the title of the article and not the actual link. So like it'll put Bahamas facts and that's it.
When you cut and paste the actual address to the article,
Yeah.
I think it's there. It's a lot of empty boxes. That's okay. Just keep going through the steps and click continue.
Yeah, I've got it fully cited. It just
Okay,
won't.
that's okay. That's okay, because some of that information is not available. So whatever you have is good enough. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, it does. I just got it to work a little bit.
Okay, so you're just going to click continue, just like I did, and then you're going to click add citation source. Now look at my bar over here. I've got two sites and they're different countries, but ignore that. One of them is National Geographic and one of them is Britannica. Then you're going to go to your third site. Another Britannica one. I know this is completely different. These are just the sites that I had open. Wait, maybe I can find a different one here. That's Marilyn Monroe. Okay. Well, let's pretend this is another one of the sites that you use. This is Marilyn Monroe. She's a person in history. I'm just showing you how to put in your bibliography. So whatever site you used, it could have been another travel site because you guys wrote about a country. Whatever it is, copy it, go back to your page, add your third source because you guys have three sources. Select website, put in that URL, click search, click continue, click add citation source. Boom, you got three sources. You guys see those three right there? There's three different sources. When you got all three in there, then you click insert works cited at the bottom. However, I don't know if you already clicked that, Tyler, but you want to make sure that you're on your next page, like a blank page of your document. So you know how at the end of your paragraph, just scroll down to the next blank page or just hit enter till you hit a clean page. Does that make sense, Tyler? And then click insert works cited. That is how easy it is. Yep. That's how easy it is on Google Docs. Super duper duper easy. I'm just going to X out of that box right there. And then the last step is right where it says works cited. We're going to change that to bibliography because that is what it should be titled, bibliography. And then you're done.
I think that's where I screwed up because I was doing it individually.
Yeah, you stack them all up in the side there. Keep adding your source, add source until you got all three of them in there, and then get to that blank page and then click Insert Works Cited and change the title to Bibliography. All right, Liana, Easton, Kaden, I know you're not doing it right now, but do you guys understand how to do that? So what I recommend is when you're doing that for your homework, you can play back this video and pause it. Each time I tell you to do something, pause it, and then you do it, and then play and see the steps. Okay, Tyler?
So it's not finding one of my links.
What does it say? Just URL not found or something like
Yeah,
that? Okay, which link is it?
it's the Britannica one.
Okay, try copying it again. You might have accidentally not got the whole thing in the copy. So go back to the Britannica page and then try again. If it still gives you that pop-up that says URL not found, don't worry about it. We're going to do this again with another assignment, and then we'll get a little deeper into how to make it work.
Okay, yeah, because that's exactly what it just said.
Okay. Then forget about that one. Just make sure to include the other two. Yeah, we'll do this again for another assignment because you're going to have more research later to do. But that's the basics. I really like using Google Docs because it has that format already built in. So you're going to go to Tools and then Citations, and that's where you're going to start cutting and pasting your links. And then it'll build it for you, which is so handy because, it takes a while to figure all that other stuff out. So, all right. So I will send back your homework like I did for Tyler, or you can unsubmit. That's also an option, and then add that bibliography page and then submit it back. But for now, we're going to move on to the next week. So you guys are pretty much done with your country of choice. I wish we had time to read them today, but maybe we can do that next week to the class if anybody wants to next week. But go ahead and put away in your finished folder all the stuff for a country of choice. And then I want you to get out from your binder the next week, which is week 16. It's called Eating Vegetables. Here we are, Tyler, eating again. We're eating again. I never, ever noticed that until you pointed it out. I've been teaching this so many times, and I've never noticed that. It's crazy. All right, so it's the next week 6. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. You're going to get out all 4 pages in week 16. And you need 2 lined pieces of paper. 2 lined pieces of paper. We're not going to use the big white paper for this. 2 lined. The first thing I want you to look at in your stack of stuff that you got out is this yellow page. And I don't know if you took a peek at the checklist, but yes, this ultimately will be a 5-paragraph essay. We're going to start with, I was waiting for somebody to have a face. I could count on you, Tyler. I knew you would have a face in the Zoom. And now you disappeared, so I don't even know where you are. We're going to start with the middle 3. These are called the body paragraphs. So I know you guys have written 5 paragraphs before because that's pretty much standard for this style of essay. So I want you to look at this format here. This is going to help you whenever you have a 5-paragraph essay to write, even if it's like a book report, whatever it is. I want you to notice we're going to first look at the 3 middle paragraphs. We recognize topic, 5 to 7 details, and clincher. That's what we've been doing since day 1 in this class. So these 3 middle paragraphs are what you've been working on for a long time now. And then The first paragraph we already know is called the introduction. So what we're going to do is start with the middle, and then we're going to add, and next week we'll add an introduction and a conclusion. That's the beginning and the end. So I always like to relate it to like a sandwich. Okay. So think of the bread. So you've got the bread on the top and the bottom. This is the introduction and conclusion. Basically, what we're doing is, and here I am talking about food again. Is that what you were going to say, Tyler? Go ahead. What do you have to say?
Will there be will there be an opportunity for us to cast opinions in our essay?
Oh, yes, yes, there will be. This week you can. I will let you have an opportunity to cast opinions because we are writing about vegetables, whether you like them or you hate them. You can have that as part of it. Thumbs up if you like vegetables, or like Tyler, thumbs down if you really don't like vegetables, or sideways. I see that. Some vegetables, yes, maybe. Sideways.
Nobody's with me.
Well, sorry. I bet your mom still makes you eat your vegetables.
Oh yeah. She won't let she doesn't force me to eat Brussels sprouts, so those are
Oh,
the
good. There's a limit.
those those are my body does not like them.
Your body rejects it.
It'll gag up.
Ah. The one thing I hate is meatloaf. I don't like meatloaf at all. Yeah. I don't know if it was the way my mom cooked it when I was young, but I can't
Are
do
you okay?
meatloaf. I can pretty much do anything else, but
What happened to you?
I would gag like Tyler's talking about. That's gross. Okay, anyway, back to this. So you got your three main body paragraphs. Look at your introduction. This is the paragraph that's going to have an attention getter, and it's going to introduce the background, and then you're going to state your three topics. We're going to work on these next week. I just want to give you a heads up. And then your conclusion down here is you're restating your three topics again. And what is the most significant thing about your paper and why? And then your last sentence is going to include words for your title. All right, that's the format. Now, with your lined paper, let's get started on this. Go ahead and put your name. Today's date is 2/18/25. And this is Unit 7. And it's called Inventive Writing. So if you enjoy creative style writing, you will enjoy this assignment as much as one can enjoy it. Okay. I know it's still a homework assignment, but like how you guys wrote about the pictures, more of that type of style. So that prefix right here in this word inventive, I see invent. We know what invent means when you create something, right? What do you need in order to invent something? It could be anything. Like if you wanted to invent a flying hoverboard or something. I mean, I know those are just kind of out there right now, but what would you need if you wanted to invent some kind of a thing like that? What do you need, Kaden?
Probably like blueprints.
Good. I like that. Blueprints or plans. You would need tools, you would need materials, you would need a space to build it. So all of those things you would have to have. Now, if I'm talking about writing, I want you to draw an arrow down, and now I want you to write inventory. Do you guys know that word, inventory? What does that mean? Can someone explain what is inventory? Tyler, what is inventory?
How much of one thing there is on like an aisle of groceries or something?
Yeah, okay, at a store. Yeah, they take inventory all the time. Like how many cans of tomatoes do we have? And somebody has to go and count them and write that down. We have, 97 cans of tomatoes. I'm just giving you an example. You're right. So it's what the stuff you have. Well, for writing, I'm just going to put an equal sign here. See, we have that prefix invent and invent. We need an inventory. stuff in your brain. So instead of going to the internet and looking for research things like on a country, we're looking for what food do they have? What animals do they have? We're not doing that this time. We are going to look for the stuff that's already in your brain. And for some of you, you have a lot of stuff in your brain, and for some of you, you may not have very much in there, and that's okay. I'm not I'm not calling anybody names or anything, but I'm just thinking, creative people have a lot more going on. If you're, musical or you like to draw or you're good with your hands, you building stuff, you're more of a creative personality. You have a lot going on in there. So that's what we're going to use. Now, is the stuff in your brain. So on the side here, let's just build a quick model of what your keyword outline is going to be. So we're going to have Roman numeral 1. This is called your introduction. I'm just going to put intro. And part of your introduction paragraph, you're going to have 1, 2, 3. You're going to have what's called an attention getter. And then we're going to learn these next week. And then we're going to talk about background. Go ahead and copy this down on your notes, because we're going to come back to this next week. And then you're going to state 3 topics. Now, remember, when you guys were summarizing multiple references, we were looking at 3 sources. We did this for your country. And then we looked for possible topics. Remember that? That was the second step. We got to look and see what are our possible topics. And we made a giant list. And then we had to choose a topic. And then you had to go into those articles and find information about those topics. If it was about the food, you had to go, okay, what kind of food do they have? And then find the details about that. That's it for the intro. You're going to skip a line and do a Roman numeral 2. And just for the sake of showing you how this is going to look, I'm going to have you do Roman numeral 3 like this next, and then Roman numeral 4. Obviously, when we actually build this, you're going to have numbers underneath it, so don't think you're not going to have that, because you will. And then do a little arrow to the side like that. These are your topic paragraphs. I'm going to do a paragraph symbol, backwards P. Another word for this is body paragraphs. This is called the body of your essay, in the middle. It's like where most of the stuff happens, right? If you're thinking of a sandwich, all the good stuff is in the middle. The lettuce, the tomato, the ham, the cheese, whatever sandwich you got. It's all the good stuff is in the middle, right? The intro and the conclusion, those are the top and the bottom. Tyler?
How do you draw those like backward P things? Because mine look real goofy and weird.
It's okay. It's 2 lines down, like at number 11, but put them close together. And then instead of putting the P on the right side, it's going to just go to the left. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It's okay if it looks weird. 2 lines down and like a backwards P at the top. By the way, I know we haven't really talked about Roman numerals much, but this is a Roman numeral 4, where you have a 1 or an I and then a V. That's a 4, and then a 5 is just a V by itself. I'm not going to go into too many details on how to do these, just copy what I have here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. 5 is the conclusion. This is the 5th paragraph. And you're going to have a 1, 2, 3 here. And basically what you're going to do is restate your 3 topics, which are here, right? These are your topics right here. And there's going to be 3. Go ahead and put a number 3 in a circle up here, because there's going to be 3 topics right here. 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 topics. So you're going to tell what the 3 topics are going to be. Then you're going to explain those 3 topics here. And then you're going to tell it again. You're going to restate those 3 topics. You're also going to talk about what is most blank. And we're going to come back to that next week. And then the word why. And that's how you close up your essay. So again, introducing it, coming up with a good attention getter, giving a little background and stating your 3 topics. Here we go into details about those 3 topics, and then we're going to have the conclusion that states those 3 topics again, and then what's most blank, and then why. Okay. Next, and we kind of talked about this. Let me see what time we got. Okay, let me think for a second. We are going to talk about vegetables, and I know how you feel about them. And I want you to think about your subject is going to be eating vegetables and the method of eating vegetables. I'm not talking about just putting it in your mouth, chewing and swallowing. I'm talking about, like, for instance, Tyler, who really does not like Brussels sprouts. How can we get Tyler to eat Brussels sprouts? How can we get him to do that? Tyler, did you have something to say really quick?
I I do it very weirdly, although it does work.
What do
I
you
will
do?
literally plug my nose while I eat them if I
Oh,
have to eat them.
if you had to.
If
Yeah,
I had to.
if you had to. So that is a technique because your smeller, your olfactory senses, if you plug your nose, it changes the taste a little bit. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but Kaden?
What if you chew it, then spit it out?
Ew. No, that's not an option. All right. Well, let's just draw a line down here like this. We're just going to separate this out, okay? At the bottom of your page. If you don't have any room down here, you can go to the back. I'm going to put here methods of eating veggies. Now, I know that some of you actually like veggies or vegetables, but pretend that, or maybe think of one that you don't particularly like. Or think about a younger brother or sister or a younger cousin who hates vegetables. Sometimes little kids, they don't even want to try. How can you get somebody to eat vegetables? What can you do to the vegetables to make them a little bit more appealing? Kaden?
You could either put sugar on the vegetables,
Okay.
just give them like candy after.
Sugar/candy, or you're talking about candy reward, maybe. Like, if you eat this broccoli, you can have this Hershey's Kiss. Okay, kind of maybe a reward, or another word for that would be like bribe, if you bribe someone to eat it. So a bribe just means like you get to watch your favorite show if you'll eat all your vegetables on your plate. Tyler, you got one?
What about throwing it on the floor? Because I'm pretty sure if we all have a dog, we used to always do this when we were little.
Well, that's a good way to avoid eating the vegetables, but we're trying to figure out how to get somebody to actually eat them. So keep that in mind, but I want you to think of what else can we do? Sometimes, like for my kids, I would put cheese on it, like cheese sauce. Sometimes putting cheese sauce maybe makes it taste better. Cheese. Or we could maybe put some chocolate. I know that sounds gross, but maybe if you cover it up with chocolate. If you dip your carrot, if you don't like carrots, you just put a bunch of chocolate on it and eat that. Kaden, what do you think?
You could like put the carrot in like um chocolate sauce, and then you put the chocolate carrot in the freezer, and then they think it's chocolate.
Ah, freeze it maybe with the chocolate we'll write this down. That's a good one. We could put sprinkles on it, make it look like a ice cream treat. Sometimes if you trick a little kid, they'll believe it and they'll eat it. What do you think, Tyler?
When Caden was talking about carrots, it gave me the perfect idea. How about you just make carrot cake?
Ah, you can make it like mix it and
Or
make
put
something with it.
broccoli on pizza.
Oh yeah. Okay, maybe. Okay, here's a word, disguise. We can disguise it into a cake or a pizza. So it looks like something else. Okay, that's a pretty good list. You could say to a little kid, you could say, okay, you have to either eat this broccoli or you have to eat this beetle. You could give him a choice. Eat the
As much
broccoli,
as I
eat the
hate
beetle.
broccoli, I'm going with the broccoli.
See, it works. I think it'll work because nobody wants to eat a beetle, right? We could offer choices. If you're running out of room, you can turn your paper over. I'm running out of room here. Offer some choices. Okay, this is a pretty good list of methods of how to get someone to eat vegetables. Now, you're going to choose three of these things as you're writing this because these are going to be your topics, like how you would disguise a vegetable or how you would put something on it or bribe the person eating the vegetable. Okay, so you're going to choose it. And if you have more ideas, you can come up with different ones than this. But basically, these are going to be your possible chop topics. Actually, up here, I want you to put that possible topics. So for me, I think I'll choose a sugar slash candy reward. And that could be separate if you want to just cover it with sugar. That could be a separate one. Um, I like this idea of freezing it with chocolate. I'm just choosing my three. You guys pick your three. And disguise. I like the idea of disguising it. You can bribe with something. You can even bribe with money. You can say, hey, I'll pay you. Is it anybody told you I'll pay you $1 if you'll eat that? That's pretty desperate.
I have actually been told that. It is quite sad.
It is quite sad.
Make it rain.
All right, on your clean page, let's get this set up. You guys are going to focus on your three topics. So clean page of line paper, 2, 18, 25. This can be your own personal experience or somebody that you know that doesn't like vegetables. It doesn't have to be you. But and this is going to be our eating vegetables. That's going to be our subject. And this is your KWO. So we're going to set the whole thing up, but we're going to focus on 1, 2, 3 only for one. We're going to focus on our body paragraphs, which is the middle part. So do number one, Roman numeral 1, 1, 2, 3, Roman numeral 2. This one's going to have more. This one is going to have 5. Skip a line, Roman numeral 3. This one's also going to have 5. Skip a line, Roman numeral 4, remember, is a 1 and a V or IV, 1 through 5. And you're probably running out of room. Go ahead and turn it over to the back. So you got Roman numeral 1 only has 3 here. But Roman numerals 2, 3, and 4, they have 5 under them. Okay. Oh, before we turn it over, turn your paper to the side. We're going to call these, put like a little bracket here around 2, 3, and 4 and put body in big letters, body paragraphs like that on the side. Because basically 2, 3, and 4, the middle, those are your body paragraphs. Okay, just to remind you on that. Oh, and it's a good thing we skipped a line because I want you to put under 5, put clincher. I almost forgot that word. That needs to go under 5s. And Tyler, I see your hand there.
So I know this isn't history class or anything, but if the Roman numeral V is 5, then why is IV 4 and not 6?
Because, okay, I know this is a quick lesson. It's backwards in Roman numerals. So the V represents 5. If you put the 1 before it, that's -1. So V is 5. And then if you put a 1 or an I after the V, that's 6. That's just like you'll learn it in math one of these days, but that's how it works. It's a -5 minus 1 is what 4 looks like. Okay. So here's where you have your 3 topics. Now for me, I chose sugar candy reward. I'm going to focus on a candy reward. So that's my topic that I picked. So I'm just going to put that here, candy reward. If you like that one and you want to use that one, put that. And then I'm going to put a blank because I don't know what I'm going to put yet for my third word. Another one I chose was freeze with chocolate. That's my next topic, freeze chocolate blank. My third one was disguise blank blank. So whatever topics you chose, put those for 2, 3, and 4. I know we're out of time here, but I want to remind you of one more thing. You're going to get information about these things from your own brain. And do you remember when we did the pictures, how did we access information from our brains? What did we do to come up with a plot? Do you guys remember what we did? Nobody remembers? Tyler?
We kind of like told a story inside of the pictures.
Yes. What did we always write at the top to help us come up with a plot? It's okay. On the back of this page, this is your notes page, this one that we did first. Go to the back of that. You're going to ask questions. Who? Write these down. What? Remember these, Tyler? When? These are the big 6. Where? Why? This is going to help you come up with information from your own brain about these topics. More questions. Draw a line after that. What is the best thing or best part of putting chocolate on your carrots? What is the worst part about that or worst thing about that vegetable that you're trying to eat? Are there any problems like gagging? How can we solve that problem? I'm doing this quick. I know, guys. Just write this down. What is the value of eating these vegetables and how does it affect your life? So, reasons why you need to eat these vegetables and how you're going to eat them if you don't like them. How are you going to disguise them? Okay. So, use these questions to help you come up with information about this. How are you going to offer a candy reward? Well, first you got to buy the candy. And then you probably have to like make it look so delicious and dangle it in front of, you can pretend this is like your little brother, your little cousin, whoever it is you're trying to get to eat the vegetables, okay? Pretend it's somebody else, maybe a friend, maybe someone in your family who hates vegetables. Usually little kids do. What you're going to do. So, who is it that's trying to eat vegetables? What are they trying to eat? Why can't they eat it? What's happening to them? Are they gagging? Okay, what's the solution? One way to get my little cousin to eat broccoli is to have a piece of candy ready for him after he eats it. Okay, here you go. You can have your candy. This is a creative writing, okay? It can be funny, it can be wild, it can be crazy. I'm okay with that. Try to have fun with this. You're just going to write these 3 paragraphs. And then next week, we're going to focus on the introduction and the conclusion. Do you guys have any questions about what the homework assignment is? I know that was kind of quick at the end there. I do want you to add that bibliography to your other page too. Tyler?
So like this just popped into my head and I'm not sure if it falls under disguise or something. But if
Okay.
you're trying to get them to eat vegetables, you could make it a smoothie. So you could put it in a blender and make it a smoothie.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna add that just so I can remember we talked about that too. A smoothie. Is that an IE? I think it is. Smoothie. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Try to have fun with this. Don't forget about your bibliography page. I will put that in your Google Docs, in your Google Classroom for your homework, but you're just going to write the 3 middle paragraphs this week, like you always do with topic clinchers. Okay. All right. Good job, you guys. Have a good one. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a
You're
good
welcome. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Leon.